Hey guys, this is Bruce, and we're going to be talking about some open topics, basically. Some folks have asked me some questions, so I'm going to answer those questions. This is open, so if you have any questions regarding cybersecurity, risk management framework, information system security officer work, then you can contact me right here, right now. Ask me any question you want. I normally do these on Saturdays, but I was tied up Saturday, so I'm just going to go ahead and knock out one today. Before I start, I want you guys to know that I have a course. I've got many courses actually that I've been building up on in the past few years. We've got things like writing your resume for cybersecurity or IT, marketing it, and I talk about how I've been able to do this for many years and be with a job making up to six figures for many years, work from home. I've got many different topics. And this one in particular, resume marketing for cybersecurity and IT. What I have for you is an addition. What I do with these courses is as I'm building them out, if I'm just starting off with it, but I've got a real solid chunk for somebody to start off as far as a foundation for that particular course, I'll put it out there, publish it, and then I'll make it either free or I'll make it very cheap. And this one started off under $100. As I've been adding to it, it's been going up in price. That's why some of my courses seem like, if you go through them, it's a lot of information, but it's kind of cheap. That means that I'm actually going to add more information to it. I'm going to expand it out. But in the beginning, I put it out there, but you have access to it. If let's say you spent $70 on it a year ago or something, I'm adding to it, and it goes up to $250. You can continue to get information out of it, even though you only paid $70. And another thing that I'm gonna do, that I've been doing, is if you are on my newsletter, if you actually sign up to Convocourses for free, by the way, and just you're in there and you're looking at free stuff, or you're messaging me inside of there, what I'll do is, if you have the newsletter, I'll give you an actual discount. Like, if you're actually signed up on my site and you say, hey Bruce, I'm going through hard times or whatever, could you drop it down? 9 times out of 10 I'll help you out, with the course. So just make sure you've signed up for it. If you email me from an account you signed up, I'll accommodate. I know the times are rough right now and people are trying to make a transition, so sign up for the website. Question me about the discount. What I'm going to do is I'll give it to the first 20 people who ask me in the month of September. All through September, first 20 people who ask. If you see this thing right here, you're like, well, I'm already signed up for this course that's free, but I want to get into, say, resume marketing, where Bruce has added 3 more courses to it. I'm going to go ahead and I want Bruce to give me a discount. Just message me. You've got my email account. I will see if I can accommodate you. But yeah, I've added Dice.com. I've added Google Jobs. I've added Glassdoor and some other things that you can do on this one. And I'm going to eventually add more stuff to this free course, Cybersecurity Entry Level. Or I'll split it off into one that's not free. And then I've also recently added stuff to Find IT Remote Work. This one's going to go up in price at some point, because the more I add to it, the more valuable it gets. But I've added information about export and import laws. I'm going to add more stuff to it as I find new things. I always add to these. Resume writing, no, I just put that one out. If you didn't know, as a resume writing focuses on just cybersecurity, IT type stuff. But I'm adding very soon, just got through recording actually, more stuff, more controls. I've covered AT controls, AU controls, AC controls, but I'm expanding out the AT controls and adding more to this one. This one definitely is going to go up as I add more, because this is a lot of families so if you're getting it at this price right now, it's actually very, very cheap. It's going to be very robust. It's going to be a lot of documentation. It's going to be way more than you can go through in one sitting. But right now I'm building on it. I go into depth about POAMs, plan of action, and milestones. I go into doing the system security plan where I'm actually writing it with you, where to get resources, downloadables, where you can download a template and start writing it yourself. And this one right here is one of the ones I want to talk to you guys about. I've been getting a lot of questions about this one and the other ISO one. People are wanting me to do mentorships. They're asking me about assignments and things like that. I've been thinking about actually doing a mock-up training. This is something I've thought about for a long time, actually. Set up like an actual system that's based off of some of my experience at a low, a moderate, or a high, a system, and then have people create the documentation that you need. And then basically I would go through and evaluate that documentation. I will give you the raw material that you need to say, here's a system, here's the category of the system, here's some of the documentation we have. We need a POAM figure out what POAMs we need for this system. Figure out, give me a draft of a system security plan for the AC controls. Give me a system security plan for the AU controls after you've gone through this training. I'm thinking about doing something like that. If I did do it, it would be some sort of a video set up to where you would have to watch it. You'd have to look at the system. You'd have to log into something, look at the system, and then there'd be some documentation that you could use as kind of like a raw source to pull from as far as categorizing the system or characterizing the system, and then looking at the controls that they already have documented. And then you would actually go and say, hey, I've noticed that you guys have AT1, but you haven't trained properly. You need role-based training. I suggest this, and maybe you would write a role-based training plan or a POAM. And then you would. So I'm just thinking about something that is a little bit more hands-on, a little bit more assignment-oriented, where I give you something, you give me back something, and then I could actually have something to go through with on one of these lives. So that's just one of the things I'm thinking about. If you think that's a good idea, go ahead and comment in the description below, or put a comment here. And I'm just thinking about it. It's just going to take a lot of my resources, and I've already got a lot of things that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do a CAP course. There's a lot of different things that are kind of out there that I'm working on right now. So this would be a whole separate branch of the Risk Management Framework Information System Security Officer series of training that I'm doing.